How are you doing? My name is Caskey, and this is my reflection on Module 8, Unit 8, Activity 1, for my INTAC 678 reflection. As far as my assessment portion, I definitely think I try to cover that in terms of it being a lab. In terms of the lab, we weren't able to do a bell ringer. There was a exit ticket in terms of the lab, but this was more of a summative assessment / lab in terms of going over cellular respiration and photosynthesis in terms of cellular energy, in terms of being connected in dots, in terms of what should happen and making inferences with regards to the rate increase or decrease of carbon dioxide. With the planning for instruction, with the different students and modifications, I did make some modifications based on what the students knew or what they did not know in terms of them making those same inferences on what would happen with the increase of the activity and the exercise, as opposed to just answering the question. I tried to do more leading questions when I saw that the percentage of kids who did not know the answer versus knew the answer was closer to 50-50. Kind of to fast forward, one thing that I would like to do that I noticed I did not do in this video was focus more on different cultures and different dynamics in terms of having different students answering the questions, as far as IEP 504s, even in terms of gifted and asking more forward-thinking questions that allowed students to think above the actual knowledge, which would hopefully enable them to bring other students up in terms of what they were lacking. In terms of instructional strategies, I definitely think we did a good job of going over the content. We did some remediation beforehand on the PowerPoint, and then hopefully allowing them to connect the dots in terms of what it looks like for cellular respiration, photosynthesis, in terms of the reciprocal nature of what is going on, and then also using critical thinking to allow them to see why the outputs, as we referenced before, photosynthesis are the inputs of cellular respiration, and vice versa as far as the outputs of cellular respiration being the inputs of photosynthesis. With labs, it's a little harder, I've realized, to do the type of differentiation only when they're actually doing the labs, and you can do more one-on-one learning, especially as you can see with the help of a co-teacher. Can help with INTASC 7 with that planning for instruction as it pertains to ELL, IEP, and 504 students. But I would say with a lab, unless it's something more interactive, and maybe I can do something more interactive to coincide with the lab, showing a video before they do the lab, can help students who may have that language barrier be able to visually connect the dots, as opposed to just going over the exact same lesson plan different ways verbally. Visually and tactile examples tend to help students and tend to be a way for them to be successful in the project. Thank you very much, and have a blessed day.